What's going on, miners? So it is a brisk 35-ish, I think, degrees out right now in Pennsylvania. It is Saturday, actually, and I wanted to take this time to actually do some winter prep on my crypto mining shed. So recently it's been like crazy windy, or it's been rainy. I think we saw a little bit of snow flurries at one point so far this year, but we actually haven't had any major snow or anything like that. I know I saw like way up in Canada where Red Panda Mining is at, you know, he's actually got some decent snow on the ground already, but we're not there yet. And today it's actually sunny out. So in the sun, it feels a lot better. You know, it might be closer to 40, but in the shade, it is cold, and at night we're down below 20. So today what I wanted to do is take the opportunity, since I have the time and the weather's half decent, and do a few things to prep my shed for the upcoming really cold winter. There's a few things I want to change. I want to cover a few things. So I want to bring you guys along and show you exactly what I'm doing today. So let's go ahead and head to the shed.
Today's video is sponsored by minerpool.pro. minerpool.pro is excited to announce the launch of their weekly Flux reward campaign for GPU miners worldwide. Every Thursday, Minerpool will be giving away 50 Flux to 20 active miners on their Flux pool. 50 Flux times 20 miners equals a total of 1,000 Flux every week, given away to miners just like you and me. Make sure you join flux.minerpool.pro and mine to get a chance of being one of those 20 lucky miners.
All right, guys, so let's head inside the shed and I'll show you what we're working on. So we don't have a ton running in the shed right now. Let's go ahead and take a look real quick. I can show you guys. This Octo miner only has 3 GPUs in it, mining that 𝐏𝐈 right now, back and forth between 𝐏𝐈 and Flux. My cousin's rig's down here on NiceHash right now. We also have my cousin's other rig up here on NiceHash as well. I do have my new 𝐏𝐸 miner. Just got this in, did a video on that. KD Pro, got that from the Black Friday sale for 250 bucks. Can't complain, so that is mine. And then this is actually my cousin's L3. So he's choosing to continue running everything. I have a video on this on 𝐓𝐸 if you guys are curious, and downclocking it down to 504 megahash at 660 watts. Other than that, nothing else has been done. I did pull out my S19J Pro. It's in the house right now, off, and I capped this off. I'm gonna show you guys what we're gonna do on the opposite side here. Inside the shed right now, it's not bad. 52 degrees on this side. You can actually put your hand here still and feel the cold air. And then on the opposite side, we come around, it's 52. So it's only a 2-degree difference between one and the other. And this is my only exhaust fan on. And as you guys can see, it's only at a speed of 1. So everything else is off. And the reason I have this one on and not a higher one is because I want to allow some of the heat to kind of, I guess the word is spew, or kind of hang out inside the shed a little bit longer, and that's going to be part of my initiative today. So in the middle of the night right now, it's getting down to the 20s, and so in here, it's definitely getting colder. So let me go outside the shed. I want to show you guys exactly what I want to do today. All right, so my goal today is to get the shed to actually be warmer during the winter. And right in there, it sounds great, right? 50-some degrees, that's awesome. Sure, but it's also like the sun is out blasting right now on the side of the shed, and it's not too bad right now out here this morning. But when it's in the teens and when there's snow on the ground, when there's 2 feet of snow on the ground, I want the shed to actually be hot and warm. So here's what we're gonna do. So if I come in here, these are the gable vents. If you guys haven't seen these, I'll put a link down below to these. These are awesome. I've really liked these. And got a nice dirty filter there. So here's what I'm thinking. In a previous video, I cut these to cover right here. And I think a lot of you guys have already seen that. I want to cover with the hardboard wrapped in a plastic, like plastic drop cloth almost, the bottom 6. And then the top ones, I want to go ahead and leave open. So the reason I'm not leaving the bottom ones open is just with snow and moisture and everything. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna close those off. And I'm okay, like, even though we're having cold air come in the top And you're like, oh, well, you know, your common sense is to go ahead and have cold air in the bottom and then the hot air rise to the top in that regard. But that my concern is what we have here. So talking through this, you guys have convinced me. I'm going to leave the middle ones open, I think. I'm going to cap off the top and cap off the bottom here. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Something just kicked on in there. Oh, it's because I opened this up. I was like, what kicked on that's so loud? It was the 𝐏𝐸. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna use, I bought this plastic drop cloth. It comes with 20 different plastic drop cloths. And I'm gonna use, it was like 20 bucks or something off Amazon. I'm gonna use those and I'm gonna do the bottoms and the tops. The other thing I wanna do is, because I'm not using them, so this is the only one I'm using, and it's on a speed of 1, I'm gonna cover these with the plastic drop cloth, and then I want to use, because I have something I can grab onto, I think I'm going to try a zip tie all the way around it, a bunch of zip ties together, just to seal this off. Not because I'm concerned about like the cold weather and stuff, but it's also just because of the fact of like I want to kind of get as much longevity out of these as I can. I'm also going to take, this is the exhaust for the S19J Pro. I have the intake on the other side. I think I'm going to try, that one's going to be harder because I don't have anything to grab onto. But it is capped inside, but to keep critters out and moisture out, try to cap that off as well. So I'm going to get to work on the intake side, and I'll show you guys how I make out. All right, guys, we've made some progress, but I wanted to give you a quick PSA. I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, I don't want people to look at this or to look at this and be, oh, like, this is exactly what you need to do. I am figuring this out as I go. I am not an expert in any way, shape, or form. So as I'm doing this, I'm like thinking to myself and learning like, oh, I should try this differently next year. So come up with your own methods. This is my pure stupidity. But I wanted to give you guys that heads up, because like as I'm doing this, I'm like, I don't know how this is going to work out. We're going to have to test it. So this is not a guide. This is not a tutorial. This is just me figuring out things as we go. All right, so the bottom 3 are done and the top 3 are done. The middle is completely left open. I kept this open to show you guys. I actually ended up trying a few things. I tried a staple gun at first. That was too much for the hardboard. So then I just used a tape gun and wrapped it. And now I know why I have my wife wrap all of our Christmas presents for our kids, because I'm terrible at it. So this is what it looks like, completely wrapped up. And then you can see here's another one up top here. Now it's not completely airtight, but it's a decent move there. So what you can do now, these gable vents, by the way, look at the backs of these. We're going to need to scrub these hardcore come spring 100%. So these just go ahead and fit in here, and then you push it down, and there we go. There's the bottom one. Do the top one here. They're super dirty, but we're going to do those in the spring to get ready for the season. The middle ones are not, but I'm actually going to replace my filters. These are the current filters. Right before we get into it, I try to replace these every 3 months. These are a little shy of 3 months, actually. It's like 25 feet of the filter for, I think it's $25 to $27 on Amazon last I looked. So we're going to replace these. They just pop off like that. You can actually see in here, the filter's kind of stuck on there. White side is your intake side, blue side is your exhaust side, so it's looking really good, huh? And that's all the crap it catches. If you don't use filters with like your shed, you're crazy. Can you imagine all this crap coming inside? And I still vacuum inside the shed once a month and mop it as well. So I'm gonna get these replaced. I got a bin full of filters that I've kind of kept up with, get these done. And then the other thing I decided not to do today was doing the plastic wrap on the exhaust vents. This plastic wrap is a lot thinner than I thought. I think I'm gonna do on the exhaust side something more like a tarp material. I have to figure that out. If you guys have any recommendations, I was hoping I could find like a cover with like an elastic, you know, like if there would be some type of cover that had elastic in it that I could just go ahead and put on here, and maybe even a bungee cord or a zip tie. Or you guys tell me, maybe I'm stupid to think to go ahead and cover these for the winter. I'd love your feedback down below, let me know. But let me get my filters finished up and I'll show you guys how we made out. All right, so the middle 3 filters are replaced. I left this one off, you guys can see. We just go ahead and fill it there, nice and easy. And then yeah, you just put on the gable vent, So easy. I love it. I love it. I'll put a link down below if you guys are looking for these. Let's go back in the shed. I want to go over one more thing before we end today's video. So, let's talk about it a little bit. So I pretty much blocked these off. You can see this one, and this one are blocked off. So we've decreased our incoming airflow, right? So now we're probably going to have more negative pressure than what we had. We also have that one's closed off, this one, and this one. So you can see the middle is our only intakes now, which I'm okay with, and I want to show you guys why. Because we only have one exhaust fan going at a speed of 1. And if I had too much of a pressure problem, those fins would actually start to close more. But everything's looking pretty good right now. So I had plenty of positive airflow with those open there, completely opened up. So we're okay. In the summertime, this wouldn't work. In the summertime, I have these guys up here running at a speed of like 2 to 3, this guy and that guy running. And if I open the door, they open up hardcore, which I know there's a little bit of a restraint there. In the summer, I actually am thinking about adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more in the center area here in order to give me more positive airflow. Now, if I was to do this again, you guys can tell me what it's called. It looks like hardboard, but it's completely made out of plastic. I think I would get those and cut those to size. Then I could wash and clean them off every year, and I wouldn't have to wrap these in this plastic. That's probably what I'm gonna do next year. So if you're gonna try to repeat this yourselves this year, go find that hard plastic from someplace like Home Depot, and I think you'll work out well. So the nice thing is we're already seeing temps rise a little bit in here. 54 on the intake, 58 on the exhaust. My goal, to be honest with you, is I wouldn't mind like this being 80 degrees or 90 degrees in the middle of the winter. I don't know. I think there's some challenges there. Some of you guys have brought up the fact that I'm gonna run into is like, if this is too warm, then you end up having a bunch of like issues on the outside with like melting and freezing and all of this. So it's gonna be a learning experience. I've never had a crypto mining shed in the dead of winter with snow on the ground. So it's definitely gonna be something to learn without a doubt. Jumping in real quick here, it's been about an hour since I've been inside after creating the video, but you can see it's already 62 degrees on the, this is the exhaust side. I have a probe on the exhaust side, so it is rising, which is awesome. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye on it. I mean, if there's snow on the ground and it's 50 degrees in the shed, heck yeah, right? All right, guys, so that's it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some of my ramblings. I'm hoping that the market changes in one way or another. Electric cost comes down, yeah, right, living a dream, or that the economy recovers is probably more likely, but I don't see that happening anytime soon, so we're gonna leave most of my rigs off. If you guys saw some of my previous videos, majority of all my rigs are in my basement in a closet right now, powered down, my GPU mining rigs, my S19, also my L3 and a bunch of my other mini ASICs. Those are mostly powered off right now. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know I rambled a lot today, I'm sorry, but hopefully you enjoy these vloggy style videos. If you do, let me know, leave a comment down below. Also, comment on some of the things you saw today, some of my concerns that I brought up. I mean, I'm learning a ton, guys, so I appreciate your feedback. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and finally, don't forget to subscribe. Take care.